I had anxiety bubbling up in my soul all day long. All day. It burns.
Yourself. You can't just
it burns.
Jump into the next door to be like, oh,
I know. I gotta cool it. I had to quit. I had to quit freelancing. It was far too much. Far too much. Clearly, I cannot get the memo about unrealistic goals. So the question is, during this time of quarantine, while everyone is forced to stay at home, should we be trying to achieve something or should we be resting? Social media will tell you both of these things.
You're not working hard enough. If you're not at home starting your business and figuring your life out, then this is wasted time. The other side is,
that's extremely toxic. Everyone handles this global pandemic how they need to focus on you.
And through all of the clutter, all of the noise, all of us will instinctually just default to our usual coping mechanisms for this time. So some people might actually use this time to rest, veg out, do whatever they can to just get out of bed in the morning. Other people will try to use this time to not only survive, but thrive, and on top of that, get ahead. I unfortunately am one of those people, and it's terrible. It is absolutely terrible. One, let's stop doing that. Two, a good chunk of this information, or at least information that's being thrown at me, is
diversify your income streams. If you have just one type of income stream, then you're failing.
And I'm like, well, maybe I should be trying to diversify my income streams. And so brain me is like, this makes sense. You may not be someone who's lost your job, but no one is special during this time. And at any point in time, your employer can cut you loose and you'll be out of luck. And so I thought, well, maybe I'll give freelancing a try. Maybe I'll try like Upwork or Fiverr, one of these platforms, to try and get some extra money coming in. Worst case scenario, in case something does happen with my job, then I have that to fall back on. Best case scenario, I have an extra income stream that if I can intricately weave into my everyday life, then maybe I can pay my student loans off faster. No, unrealistic. The thing is though, and if you use Upwork or even if you don't and you're just starting from scratch, these beginning jobs are going to be crap. They are going to be slogs, okay? Just for the sake of saying that you have a side hustle? No. No. I was a crazy person. We cannot do this. We cannot do this anymore. So I quit. I developed a tension headache that persisted over the course of a week. I was laid out on the couch with a heating pack on my head. That is absurd. This is absurd. Why would I do this to myself? Why would you do this to yourself? Don't do it. Just don't do it. I realized that this was a coping mechanism. And I have had this coping mechanism literally my entire life because I have a problem with letting go of control. And I think that this is pretty common in overachievers. You have a problem letting go of control. Now, honestly, pushing harder to try and gain control of your situation and to do better, it'll serve you for a while. It'll serve you, especially all through school, all through higher education. It'll serve you well to just push to just get the job done and get that degree. But in the real world, is it really serving you? It really depends, honestly. And I think that the key here is to listen to our bodies to figure out, should we be pushing harder to achieve right now, or should we just be resting? Should we just take a few moments to just take deep breaths and just be for a little bit? So when I'm talking about, thinking about when you should be pushing harder, when you should be trying to achieve something, what you really need to be asking yourself, and what I really need to be asking myself is what I'm trying to do aligned with who I am? Is it aligned with my values? Is it aligned with what I find fulfillment and joy from? If it's not in alignment with those things, then pushing harder could be at your own detriment. I cannot stress this enough. Make sure that you are listening to your body. If you're doing something and it does not feel right, stop. Honestly, if you can help it, just stop. Just stop. Don't do something just because you think you should be doing it. I know a lot of us, especially with student loan debt and other types of debt, we feel like we should have achieved something by now. We should have paid this off by now. Should can get you into a lot of trouble. So be careful about what you think you should be doing. For me, in times of uncertainty like right now, I tend to push. Now that I'm taking more time to do mindful practices in the morning, like gentle yoga, deep breathing, and meditation, I can feel when I get into this zone. Like I notice it. And now I am purposely making myself stop. Full stop. If I feel it, I'm like,
Hold up. Ho.
let's switch gears here. This desire to sort of push harder and to achieve right now in this moment urgently, it is connected to this sense of having lost time, especially now with like social media running rampant and this pervasive idea that as millennials, we should have so much more at this time. We should have the house that we want by now. We should have the car that we want by now. We should have the career that we want by now. It seems like when we want or need to push pause on something, we're losing valuable time. In some cases, that could be true, but in most cases, it's not true. You can press pause, especially when it comes to making sure that you're in alignment with your mind and with your body. Pushing pause 9 times out of 10 is the best thing to do. And whatever it is that you wanted to do, it'll be there when you get back. You don't have to do it all right now. It's okay. Breathe. Just breathe. I'm realizing that in the past, I would always just focus on what my mind said about it. If my mind thought that what I was doing was the most realistic thing to do, if it made the most sense, then that was it. But I never checked with my body, with my gut, with my heart, to see if this was really something that excited me, that really just made me want to do it. Now, moving forward, anytime I want to take on an additional task or to commit myself or my energy to something, I'm going to make sure that one, when I do it, I'm going to pay attention to how my body feels while I'm doing this task. So when you're doing something, ask yourself, how does my body feel when I'm doing this? Does it feel good? Do you get lost in it? Do you experience flow? So flow was popularized by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. I'll let you sound it out. The second question you should ask yourself is what I'm doing urgent, or does it just feel urgent? There's a difference. Now, if you want to do something and it actually has a legitimate deadline, then you better get to it and manage your time accordingly. But if you want to do something and you feel like you have to do it right now because there's an internal voice in your head that's saying, well, you should have done this already, or you're already far behind everyone else around you, you might want to check that voice. Oftentimes, when we're trying to push ourselves into something just for the sake of saying that we're doing it, or just for the sake of saying that we've done it already. That's coming from an internal judgy voice rather than actually being something that you need to do. It comes from this idea of, I need to hurry up and do it, because if I don't do it, then I'm not going to do it at all. And that's honestly not true. That's a stress response. Really, you should be listening to your body to make sure you're doing what you want to do in the right time. Timing is everything. Just because you want something right now does not mean it is the best time for you to do it right now. Question number 3. Does the effort that you're putting in match both the external and internal rewards? Are you working incredibly hard without anything in return? Now, for some folks, starting a business, you're putting in a lot of upfront work. And honestly, the reward you get in the beginning externally is not going to come anywhere close to what you could have down the line. And it's not going to come anywhere close to matching the amount of work that you're putting in up front. However, the internal reward that you are feeling by doing your own business and by striving to work towards your goal, that could be fulfilling you enough where it is worth the effort. Writing 3,000 words for $30, the external reward was not there, and the internal reward was not there either. Maybe if I was writing about a subject that I actually cared about and had full control over what it was that I was writing, that could be a different story. But because I didn't, it was not worth it. It was not in alignment with me. The world has been forced to slow down right now. And in this time, if you're going to achieve anything, I pray that what you achieve is the ability to listen to your body and your mind. Let them combine together to be the compass that guides you. If you're trying to achieve something, make sure that it is fully in alignment with you, that you feel flow while you're doing it, and that it not only inspires you, but that you actually feel your body's excitement for it. Being mindful, meditating, just doing simple deep breathing and gentle yoga, these are techniques that you can use to help you get more acclimated to how your body feels. When it feels differently, you notice, like when you have a headache that lasts for a week, you'll notice. And when you come across something that excites you on the inside and you feel kind of an internal glow about it, you'll notice. Pay attention to those signs. When it comes to whether or not you should be achieving or resting right now at this time, honestly, the answer could be both. Maybe you should be slowing down on the things that you usually just push through and ramping up the things that actually give you the experience of flow. If I can leave you with one more final thought, one that I also will need to remind myself on a consistent basis, is that achieving just for the sake of achieving is nonsense. It is even more ridiculous when attempting to do this during a global pandemic. Please stop. Liz, please stop. Thank you so much for watching, for hearing my rants. I hope that the lessons that I am learning right now are somehow, some way helping you. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, and above all else, please remember to give yourself some grace. See you later.